Welcome to Hero Villains. Who do you think would win in Elektra versus Mileena, the clash of two perfect femme fatales? Elektra Natchios is a deadly assassin trained by Stick, the leader of the Chaste. She possesses extraordinary close combat skills, lightning-fast reflexes, and an almost complete mastery over her emotions. Elektra is a master of the traditional Japanese sai, capable of taking down her enemies before they even realize death is upon them. She can read body movements and predict attacks, turning every battle into a deadly dance of precision and artistry. Mileena, a hybrid born from the DNA of Princess Kitana and the Tarkatan species in the Mortal Kombat universe, is the embodiment of controlled madness. She has lightning-fast attacks, the ability to teleport, and delivers brutal bites with her terrifyingly sharp teeth. Mileena is both a warrior and a predator, fighting with primal instinct and deep hatred. Before we dive into the analysis, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Thank you all so much for your support. Elektra Natchios was born on a peaceful island in Greece, where the waves of the Aegean Sea whispered like a lullaby of destiny. Her father, Hugo Kostas Natchios, was a powerful and strict ambassador, while her mother, Christina Natchios, was a gentle woman with a short-lived fate. During a family yacht trip, her mother was tragically killed by a stray bullet, leaving a wound in Elektra's heart that would never heal. After that tragedy, she grew up in the care of her devoted but emotionally distant father, haunted by strange visions and mysterious voices that slowly drove her mind into chaos. Her inner pain pushed Elektra towards self-destructive behavior, forcing her father to send her to therapy in hopes of saving her fragile soul. As she grew older, Hugo insisted that Elektra train in martial arts to strengthen her will and gain control over herself. At just 10 years old, she began her training under a harsh instructor who mocked her as a spoiled rich girl living off her father's wealth. But with extraordinary determination, Elektra surpassed all expectations in only 2 years. Impressed by her skill, her teacher told her about the Chaste, a legendary group of warriors led by Stick, who devoted their lives to mastering the art of combat. Determined, Elektra sought out Stick and eventually earned his acceptance as a student. However, her fiery nature and suppressed anger led Stick to believe she wasn't ready, and he walked away from her. Refusing to accept failure, Elektra continued to train in the shadows until the Hand took notice of her. Among them was Akka, a young female warrior who pretended to care for and understand Elektra, slowly leading her deeper into the dark world she thought would bring her balance. But in truth, it was the beginning of a bloody path where Elektra became both a student and a victim of forces she could never fully comprehend. After being appointed as Greece's ambassador to the United States, Hugo Natchios brought Elektra with him across the Atlantic. She started a new life in New York and enrolled at Columbia University, where fate introduced her to Matt Murdock, a young man with an unbreakable spirit and extraordinary intuition. Under Akka's command, Elektra was tasked with approaching Matt and convincing him to join the Hand. One night, she intentionally appeared while Matt was moving across rooftops, leaving small clues behind for him to follow. Curious, Matt chased after her, only to be accidentally caught by the police. The sight made Elektra laugh, but when she learned he was blind, she froze, sensing something different about him. The next day, they drove out of the city together. For the first time, Matt felt truly alive, while Elektra realized they shared the same wild spirit. She told him they were both drawn to the edge between safety and danger, living where others dared not go. Then, without warning, Elektra leapt off a cliff, crashing through a layer of thin ice and disappearing into the freezing water. Matt dove in after her but couldn't find her. When he resurfaced, she was calmly standing on the shore, smiling playfully before speeding away on her motorcycle. From that moment on, their bond grew stronger. However, one night, Stick appeared to Matt, warning him to stay away from Elektra, saying she was a storm that could drag him into darkness. Despite the warning, Matt ignored him, because to him, Elektra wasn't just a woman, she was the fire he could never walk away from. Not long after, Elektra and her father were taken hostage by an armed group. In desperation, Matt Murdock, hiding his identity behind a mask, risked his life to rescue them. He managed to pull Elektra to safety, but amid the chaos, he accidentally knocked a terrorist off balance. Mistaking the situation, the police outside opened fire, believing the hostages were in danger. A single fatal bullet struck Hugo Natchios in the chest. Before Elektra's eyes, her father collapsed, his blood soaking the floor, while her screams shattered the night and Matt's soul. After After her father's tragic death, Elektra fell into a pit of guilt and vengeance. She left Matt, left America, and sought refuge in the darkness as a way to escape herself. But the haunting thought of who was truly behind the attack would not let her rest. Following the trail to an abandoned church, Elektra confronted the culprit. As he pointed his gun at her, he confessed that he was only following orders from someone else, but that didn't make Elektra hesitate. She lunged forward with lightning speed, taking down the man and his heavily armed guards in a brutal flurry of strikes. In the midst of the savage battle, Elektra robbed him of his sight, leaving him writhing helplessly in darkness. Just as another guard prepared to land a fatal blow, a dagger flew out from the shadows, saving Elektra in the blink of an eye. She looked up and saw Stick, the man who once abandoned her standing in the night. Believing Matt had sent him to protect her, Elektra said nothing and simply watched him disappear into the darkness. She kept the dagger as a token of fate. Years later, Elektra became one of the most feared bounty hunters and assassins for powerful figures in the criminal underworld. Her unmatched combat skills and icy composure made her name known across the globe. One day, while taking on a contract in New York City, she unexpectedly crossed paths with Daredevil, the fearless, blind hero, whom she quickly realized was none other than Matt Murdock, her once burning love from the past. That encounter marked a turning point in Elektra's life, where past, passion, and guilt intertwine. The two temporarily joined forces to take down Bullseye, who had spiraled into madness from a brain tumor. Although Matt could never accept the bloody path Elektra chose, their bond still burned quietly like embers under ashes. Together, they fought against the Hand, the mysterious assassin organization Elektra had once been part of. During that time, Daredevil lost his radar sense, forcing Elektra to become both his eyes and his blade in their fight against Kirigi, the ruthless master assassin of the Hand. Their pursuit of Stick led to a fierce confrontation, where Elektra was forced to sacrifice both her blood and her trust. Over time, love between Elektra and Matt began to fracture when Wilson Fisk, the infamous crime lord of the city, hired her as his personal assassin. Her first mission was to kill journalist Ben Urich, who dared to expose Fisk's crimes. Matt intervened and ruined the plan, infuriating Fisk, who then ordered Elektra to kill Foggy Nelson, Matt's closest friend. When Elektra confronted Foggy, she realized who he was, and her hand trembled at the edge between right and wrong. In the end, she dropped her weapon and spared his life. Shortly after, Bullseye decided that the only way to reclaim his position as Kingpin's top assassin was to kill Elektra. He struck her down with her own say, and she died in Matt's arms.
I truly hope you'll hit that subscribe button. It helps us a lot, and you're absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Mileena is one of the most iconic characters, known not only for her deadly beauty, but also for the madness that lurks within her. She was created by the dark sorcerer Shang Tsung under the command of Emperor Shao Kahn. As the adopted daughter of the Outworld ruler, Mileena quickly became one of his most loyal and dangerous enforcers, as well as one of the most infamous villains. Beneath her alluring half-mask lies a terrifying mouth, a symbol of the twisted balance between beauty and evil that defines her existence. Mileena is a hybrid of Tarkatan and Edenian blood, giving her both the regal grace of royal lineage and the savage brutality of Baraka's warrior race. In battle, she moves with blinding speed, performing acrobatic flips and powerful strikes, combining her strength and agility with lethal precision. Her mind is warped by jealousy and a burning desire to steal Kitana's life. She relentlessly hunts her sister, determined to destroy and replace her as Shao Kahn's true heir. Mileena fights with her twin Sai and her Tarkatan teeth, sharp as blades, primitive weapons that can tear through flesh and crush bone. Beneath her seductive exterior lies pure chaos, a creature born of sin, driven by hatred, and consumed by an unending instinct to destroy. Unlike Kitana, who embodies purity and nobility, Mileena is cruel, ruthless, and vengeful. She sees Kitana as her mortal enemy, the one person standing in the way of her destiny. Deep down, Mileena believes she is the rightful heir to Edenia's throne, the true princess, not Kitana. Her jealousy soon turns into obsession. Every failed attempt to kill Kitana only drives her deeper into madness. Mileena is the definition of an opportunist. She knows how to seize and exploit every situation to strengthen her power, even if it means betraying those who once helped her. Her brutal instincts are fueled by a lust for domination and the thrill of taking lives. Though she wishes to kill Kitana, Mileena often chooses instead to make her suffer, prolonging her agony like a cruel game to satisfy the envy screaming inside her heart. In her core, Mileena dreams of following in Shao Kahn's footsteps, becoming the queen of Outworld and ruling with absolute power. She craves everything Kitana has: beauty, status, love, and respect. Yet the greatest tragedy of Mileena's life is that her ambition is forever corrupted by her own destructive nature. In the Armageddon ending, she doesn't kill Kitana, but instead inflicts a far crueler punishment. She makes Kitana hideous while transforming herself into the beautiful woman she once envied. Mileena's goal in Armageddon is to make herself beautiful, and Kitana ugly. But like many warriors, she also desires Blaze's power to dominate. Some warriors seek Blaze's strength to become gods, champions, or the greatest fighters. Others crave it to destroy or to steal power from their rivals. A few wish to erase evil forever. Mileena's desire to use Blaze's power for conquest is no different from most others, and she longs to look exactly like Kitana. If her wish were granted, Mileena would act like Kitana, deceiving everyone into believing she was her sister. She envies Kitana so deeply that she wants her dead, so nothing can stop her from taking everything Kitana possesses. Mileena wants Kitana to experience everything she has endured to know what it feels like to be Mileena. Even though Kitana has already lost her home and family to Shao Kahn, Mileena believes her sister still must suffer as she did. After Edenia was freed from Shao Kahn's control and she was denied the right to rule Outworld, Mileena was left with nothing. The heroes who fought to protect, defend, and save their worlds had taken everything from her. Now, Mileena wanted to take everything from Kitana, just as everything had once been taken from her. Mileena never felt shame or regret for what she did. Deep down, her existence felt incomplete without the beauty that Kitana possessed. That jealousy ran deep in her mind, making her both admire and despise the sister who was cloned from the same origin. Though cold and ruthless on the outside, deep within, she longed for genuine love. That desire made Mileena vulnerable to manipulation by people like Reiko, who used sweet words to control her mind. Between Mileena and Kitana lay a chasm of hatred that could never be filled. Kitana despised Mileena for her madness and monstrous appearance, while Mileena hated Kitana for her purity, beauty, and the power she could never have. Mileena once tried to earn Kitana's acceptance, only to be met with disgust and rejection. As time passed, Mileena's outfits became more modest, yet she still retained her captivating allure, embracing her own way of showcasing beauty. She wanted to be admired, but at the same time, she wanted people to fear her true face. Mileena's strength defined her as a warrior. Time and again, her power proved to rival that of the Shao Kahn fighters and in many cases even surpass them. Despite her savage instincts and natural strength, she often fell short against the sister she hated most, missing victory by the smallest margin. What makes Mileena truly unique is that she was never formally trained in martial arts, yet she fights with deadly efficiency. She channels raw power and speed into devastating attacks. Her fighting style combines fierce uppercuts with relentless flurries of strikes, driven more by killer instinct than technique. She dives into battle like a storm, wild, furious, and bloodthirsty, making her every move unpredictable. That untamed and rule-breaking nature makes Mileena's combat style both terrifying and mesmerizing, embodying the raw, primal force that defines her very soul. Mileena was sent by Shao Kahn to hunt down and eliminate an intruder from Earthrealm. Meanwhile, Elektra was carrying out a secret mission for an organization that specialized in hunting demons. During her mission, she accidentally discovered Mileena's presence among the ancient ruins, where moonlight poured down in cold, silvery beams. Amid the shattered landscape, the two warriors stood face to face. The moonlight gleamed on Elektra's twin Sei, while Mileena's paired blades shimmered like twin sparks of death. Mileena's lips curled into a twisted smile, her eyes blazing with savage fire, while Elektra remained calm and merciless, her breathing steady and quiet like a still current before a storm. No words were spoken, only the sound of wind passing through the dying trees and the rhythmic beating of their hearts filled the heavy silence before the explosion of violence. In an instant, they lunged at each other, their movements so fast they nearly tore through the night itself. Elektra fought with flawless precision, every strike calculated down to the breath. She moved like a shadow, dodging Mileena's fierce assaults with the grace of a master ninja. Mileena countered with raw ferocity, her spinning kicks and slashing blades slicing through the air, her teleportation turning the fight into a whirlwind of speed and violence. The sound of clashing steel echoed through the ruins, sparks flying with every impact. Suddenly, Mileena ripped off her mask, revealing her terrifying razor-sharp teeth and monstrous face, causing Elektra to hesitate for just a heartbeat. But she quickly regained her composure, retreating into the darkness, using smoke and silence to confuse her opponent. When Mileena charged forward in blind rage, Elektra spun aside, creating the perfect counterattack. The tip of her sai pierced Mileena's exposed side. Mileena fell to her knees, gasping for breath, her eyes still burning with hatred. Elektra stood still, her gaze cold as steel, neither triumphant nor remorseful. In her eyes, death was simply a part of the job, something she had long grown used to. Winner, Elektra. I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Follow me if you liked it. That's today's video. Thank you so much for watching.